to give his introduction. Changing the paths of career is difficult, time-consuming, and most importantly, scary. In his speech, Avernil Paul is going to speak about his decision and journey towards career transition. It is a 5 to 7 minute speech, and he would like to be evaluated in every aspect of the speech. So, on the dynamic leadership path of pathways, for level 3, negotiate the best outcome, here is Avernil Paul with Pivot, 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 Avernil Paul.
So, does anyone know from where this term pivot, pivot, pivot comes?
Science. Science. Friends.
Friends, who said that? Yes. So, what is pivot? Pivot is a particular point around what things turn and change. If my hand is a machine or lever, then this is the pivot. Around this, things turn and change. So, good evening everyone. I am Avernil Paul. I'm a scientist and a storyteller. And I have been with Toastmasters from the last 1 year, but I have not been participating for the last 6 months. Because my life has been a little upside down, if I may say. So what happened a few months back? I do research in this building. I'm a microbiologist, and I was struggling with a particular technique. I was struggling very hard. Day in, day out, I was repeating the experiment, and every passing day and every failed result was making me more and more flustered. So, one fine day, I finally managed to crack. I sat with my boss, I showed him the result, and he was extremely happy. And he said, so Avernil, so your path is ready, you have got this result, now do a few more experiments, publish your article, and go join some university as a professor. What should have been my feeling? Yes, happy, excited. I was feeling very ashamed. Now let's see why. At this point, I realized something. Among all the things I want to do, that was something I do not do. Understand the difference. It's very important to understand what you do not want to do before you understand what you want to do. So, at that point of time, I was confused, very confused. I could not tell anything to my boss. I was pretending to be happy. I was deep down, I was very confused. I was dazzled at what is happening with me. Why am I not happy? I have worked for this for so many months and now I am not happy. At that point of time, two very interesting things happened. I was invited to give a talk in a podcast about my research, about science in general, biology in general, TB in general. And there I spoke and spoke and spoke. I talked about tuberculosis, my work, history of science, different aspects. I loved it. I tell you honestly, I loved it. Maybe even a little bit more than I loved my research. I love studying about it. I love presenting my work there. And I realized, maybe this is something I really love. Now realizing what you love is also very important, along with what you don't. But what shall I do? I started doing my research, how to be a good scientific communicator, how to how to do the pivot, change my career. I went and speak with my boss. He asked me, what is your plan? I spoke him very clearly that I know this is my responsibility to finish whatever project you have given me, but this is not something I will do. He was surprised because usually this is kind of a drawn roadmap for any scientist. Do your research, publish some paper, give a talk in different institute, find your position, live a happy life. to divert from that and venture something entirely different. But he was somehow convinced with my confidence, my passion. He agreed. You finish your work, you go ahead and venture anything you want. I'm very happy for that. So for the last 6 months, I have been trying to establish my scientific hypothesis. I'm trying to do my research work. At the same time, I'm trying to transit from one career to another. Trust me, that's something difficult. I've been doing research for the last 7 years. I've been teaching for the last 20 years maybe. But this is something entirely new and true. I started reading, I started going through every sort of articles. I even found an article where they were speaking about neurolingualism, means how your brain works while you are speaking. And do you know what the first quote was? It was from Back to the Future. Can you imagine a hardcore science article quoting Back to the Future? Some was quoting Hamlet, Shakespeare. I was like, I have found the best of the both worlds. There is science, there is film, there is literature. This is scientific communication. I want to communicate my science to each and everyone. And at that point, I realized something very important. I understood that the position I'm holding right now as a scientist, as a postdoc in UAV, is very prestigious. There is no shame to acknowledging your privileges. This is my privilege. I am doing work under this prestigious institute. But at the same time, it's not that bad to realize your passion and drive your own career towards that, how much ever uncertain it is. So here I am, juggling and struggling between both of my worlds and telling the truth to all of you. That will be it. Thank you.
So as not to be flustered this time,